Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I rise in full support of the National Budget 2025-2026. It is a budget that hears the war cry of the Honourable Prime Minister, a war against poverty. It is a budget that pays attention to details, taking simple yet meaningful changes. Baby steps account, as aptly coined by Honourable Ali Kimbia, that improve the well-being of our people and moves us in the right direction, out of poverty into productivity, out of welfare into well-being. The majority of our people who take the buses daily will appreciate the 10% decrease in bus fares. Our most vulnerable living on social welfare will appreciate the increase in their welfare allowances, which our government has been progressively doing since coming into office. The reduction in VAT to 12.5% will be appreciated immensely by our people, while we work with FCCC to manage the prices of goods. The handover of titles to our people living in informal settlements and in public housing will appreciate their security of tenure and are able to borrow with their real property. The $10 million allocated to deal with the HIV crisis showcases real commitment to addressing this pandemic. The allocation for a drug rehabilitation center under the Social Welfare Department shows real commitment to dealing with harm reduction and prioritizing the physical and mental well-being of our people at risk, especially our children who currently have nowhere to go. Our people will appreciate the increase in police presence with 1,000 more police officers to find the drug dealers, to secure our streets and communities, especially at night, and confidence in our tourists to enjoy the nightlife in Fiji. Our parents and guardians will appreciate the continued $200 back-to-school assistance for over 200,000 children. The continuation allocation of various line ministries to the National Action Plan to Prevent Gender-Based Violence shows our real commitment to making our women safer in our homes. The increases in budgets in the social services sector, education, health, social welfare, women, children, housing, education, rural development, roads, water, bridges, walkways, local government, sports, our agriculture sector, our law enforcement. These are services the government provides, and we are prioritizing these services to our people to improve their daily living and raise them out of poverty. Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm most encouraged by the commitment of our government to our children. There are budget allocations under line ministries to operationalize the historic Child Care and Protection Act and the Child Justice Act. Thank you, Minister for Children, Honourable Sashi Kiran, for your continued commitment to our children. There's an increase in the funding of constructing the Child Wellbeing Centre to $342,000 and a grant for the running of the centre of $150,000. There is a grant on the urgently needed Drug Rehabilitation Centre of $200,000. I wish the Ministry all the very best in securing donor funding and valuable partnerships working with the Ministries of Health and Justice in providing these much-needed services. It'll be a first for Fiji, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I'm hopeful both centres will be up and running in the coming financial year. Madam Deputy Speaker, the deficit of the budget of around $880 million is mostly equivalent to the cost of living relief package in the budget. We are a government that knows what you need, Fiji. We are a government that is capable of carrying and managing this debt for you. We have demonstrated fiscal responsibility and stabilizing the economy. It is a good debt we are willing to take on because we see you, we hear you, and we are dedicated to serving you. Madam Deputy Speaker, I share the sentiments of my fellow members to offer my sincerest condolences on the sad loss of our colleague and dear friend, Honourable Vatimi Ralu. I, for one, valued his company. He was a man of few words, but bellowed with honesty and passion. We will miss him dearly. I pray for comfort and peace for his family. I welcome my Tau, Honourable Inosi Kurindrani, back to Parliament. It was a memorable time in opposition, sitting beside him in the back row as new MPs learning and, of course, moving forward together. And congratulations, Tal, for making the voyage to find Jumbulo in the south. Madam Deputy Speaker, I too condemn the illegal acts of sacrilege committed at the Samambula Hindu Temple. Though the motives are still unclear, we as a nation must be united to call out this crime and educate continually on the need to show utmost respect for our places of worship, as religion is a strong pillar of our society. Madam Deputy Speaker, it is with profound humility and deep emotion that I take a few good minutes to share my personal experience, having recently returned from a truly sacred journey, the installation of Ratu Tevita Lakamba Mara as Tuinayao, Tuilau, and Sani Wunokolau. Please allow me to share some deep reflections and a vision for the future as it pertains to the budget and to the general well-being of our people. Congratulations to the province of Laos. Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister, for your leadership that has made this installation possible. Thank you to all our voters of the coalition government that has brought the change to restore what was only hidden, not lost. Like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, it's been a journey of resurgence. My connection to Laos runs deep in my veins. The Turanga Tuinayao is family. His paternal grandmother, Golikoro Fonolahi, mother of the late Tuinayao Ratsakam Sisamara, and my father's maternal grandmother, Kalolaini Fonolahi, are sisters, both hailing from the Yavusa of Sawana in Vanombalahu in Laos. Further anchoring me to that blessed ocean is my maternal grandmother, Anaseni Lupevagaloloma, from Nassau, Morde in Laos. Her mother, Milika Koroi, was from Vakano in Lakemba. So I took the opportunity to present my mboka to the Yavusa Tapu Buana Turanga Tuira, the village with direct kinship ties to Nravo. I'm grateful for these roots that bind me to the Wanu Olau. Madam Deputy Speaker, witnessing the ceremony was more than observing tradition. It was feeling the Vanua breathe. Seeing the distinct and vital roles played by the various islands of Laos brought a renewed sense of pride and purpose to us all. It was a powerful affirmation of our enduring heritage. Perhaps the most stirring sight, the one that truly speaks to a secure future for our culture, was the active participation of our young people. Seeing the students of Ratufinao Secondary School step forward with such reverence to fulfill their roles in the traditional presentations upon the specific request of Turana Tuinayao himself moved me deeply. Malobalevu Turana Tuinayao, thank you for remembering our youth. Thank you for empowering our youth. Thank you for building that critical bridge between our present and our future, ensuring our culture, traditions, and way of life are carried forward with strength and pride by the next generation. Madam Deputy Speaker, while we reflect on the profound cultural significance and unity embodied in the installation of the Tuinayao Olau, a shadow was cast upon this auspicious occasion. An attempt, feeble on its face, yet deeply damaging, to tarnish its dignity and disrespect an integral pillar of Itaukei tradition and Fiji's very identity. I speak of the deliberate misinformation, the outright lies propagated on social media regarding the arrival of the Tongan Navy vessel, carrying the Tongan nobles, the royal family members, and the gifts to be presented by His Majesty the King to the Tuinayao. The Honourable Member Ketan Lal, who is not here today, publicly alleged without foundation that this vessel failed to receive proper clearance at our borders before travelling to Lakemba. These assertions are false. Madam Deputy Speaker, the bitter irony is stark. Just days ago, in his own budget response, the Honourable Member passionately advocated for the effective regulation of the digital space to combat misinformation and racism. Yet, in this instance, he has administered the very poison he condemned. By recklessly making a public statement published in the Fiji Times on 6 July that the Tongan Navy broke the law and arrived illegally without verifying the facts readily available to him as a Member of Parliament is a grave breach. This is not merely irresponsible, Madam Deputy Speaker, It is a dereliction of duty. His actions have damaged the reputation of the sovereign kingdom of Tonga, damaged the reputation of our border security and biosecurity of Fiji, undermined our long-standing relations with Tonga, relations built not just on neighborly goodwill, but on centuries of deep family ties and shared tradition, as well as to the many Tongans who live in Fiji. The consequences of Honorable Lyle's words extend far beyond political point scoring. It has injected ill will and risked creating hostility where none existed. I know this because this concern was raised with me by the Tongan nobles and royal family members who were hosted at the Yavusa Tongayavu at Onewai in Tumbo village. Honorable Lyle owes a profound apology to His Majesty the King of Tonga, Her Majesty the Queen of Tonga, and the people of Tonga whose dignity he has insulted. Madam Deputy Speaker, as members of this House, we bear a higher responsibility. Spreading demonstrably false information, especially that which risks damaging vital international relationships and cultural harmony, is a fundamental violation of trust. Furthermore, Honorable Lyle's focus on falsehoods stands in jarring contrast to the true spirit witnessed in Laos. Honorable Lyle professes to be a youth advocate. Where was his voice praising the profound and moving participation of our young people, the students of Ratufinau Secondary School, who embodied the future of our traditions at the Tuinayao's installation? That was the story deserving of his platform, not fabrications designed to sow discord. Madam Deputy Speaker, let us be clear. Such actions have no place in our discourse, especially concerning an event of such deep cultural and national significance. I urge the Honourable Member to reflect, retract, and offer apologies demanded by the gravity of his error. Madam Deputy Speaker, I wish to express my gratitude, which extends widely to the skilled and dedicated crew of the MV Avirao for ensuring our safe passage to Laos and return. I thank Gaunda Shipping Limited for the approval at the last moment for his boat to transport the extra 300 passengers overbooked on the Avirao, given the time-sensitive schedule of the installation. Of course, my huge appreciation to the generous household of Nambao in Tumbo for opening their doors and hearts to host me and my daughter Amira with such warmth. Madam Deputy Speaker, I took my daughter Amira on this journey for a reason. She participated fully, sitting with reverence for up to 8 hours straight on the Ngatu walkway during the main installation ceremony. While the ceremony was solemn, the life of the Vanua was also joy. Amira, alongside with the teen daughters of Honourable Nditoka and Honourable Wasarongo, found such connection and happiness mingling safely with villagers and visitors. They were so immersed in the warmth and the security of the Vanua, they were often arriving home later than their parents. This safe, vibrant environment for our young people is a testament to Laos' strength. Upon consulting with several traditional leaders, their view was that our justice and welfare systems are to consider sending our child offenders, street kids, and school dropouts to the village to be supervised in undertaking community work and rehabilitation through integration back into daily village life, something our line ministries can consider in the coming financial year as you allocate funding and projects to help our children and youth at risk, especially as part of the diversion program under the Child Justice Act. Madam Deputy Speaker, the installation was not just a change in leadership, it was a powerful reaffirmation of Laotian identity, a weaving together of deep roots and vibrant new shoots. Madam Deputy Speaker, having just returned from my first visit to Lakemba and my second visit to Vanomalavu, I deeply reflected on the state of development. As a daughter of Kandavu, another maritime province, the parallels in our challenges struck me deeply. What I witnessed in Laos, Madam Deputy Speaker, reflects a broader truth. Our maritime provinces remain trapped in a cycle of rural neglect. Despite their vast potential, they lack the basic infrastructure that defines modern development. But this is not just Laos' story, Madam Deputy Speaker. It's a story of every maritime province in Fiji. The lack of equitable investment has left our coastal communities vulnerable and disconnected. But the Laotian philosophy prevailed. Make the most of what you have, be it God-given or government-given. Life is what you make of it. Yet amidst these challenges, I acknowledge progress and partnership. I thank the coalition government for the budgetary increases across ministries as clearly articulated by Honorable Nditoka. A special mention of the critical fortification of Tumbo's seawall, defending a vital economic center in Laos. I acknowledge the late Honorable Vatimi Rayalu for his vision being realized with a commitment of $250,000 to the project. Madam Deputy Speaker, fixing seawalls, providing solar units, and also small assistance that help our people daily in maritime provinces, while they are vital, they cannot anchor an entire province's future alone. Laos struggles mirror Kandavu's. They mirror the cries of Lomaibiti, Bua, Ra, Rotuma, Mabunoni Basoundu, and many unreachable areas by connectivity and roads. My contribution to the national budget is in full support, and in the same breath, I wish to pivot my speech to some general observations that we can keep in the back of our minds as we roll out the budget in the coming year. Not just merely improving the systems we as a government has inherited. What about a change in the system? We need to ask ourselves, when will our maritime and rural provinces receive the comprehensive, sustained investment they deserve? Madam Deputy Speaker, I know many have visited China and how we have seen firsthand the economic activity within the provinces using their resources as well as their thriving culture tourism, which ensures preservation and young people being involved. And China has alleviated poverty of close to 100 million people by empowering their provinces. They've opened up their provinces to foreign investment and streamlined land laws to be more investment friendly. When we focus on the local solutions with direct investments from our national budgets, our provinces can fund the shared priorities by all. Itoke, Indo-Fijian, Utuman, Chinese, all Fijians who live within the province. We need to empower our Vanua and Itoke structures not just to be advisory bodies, but they can also make decisions that affect those that live within the provinces. It means working together to build roads, schools, clinics, and economies that serve everyone. This is the path to true grassroots empowerment, Madam Deputy Speaker. I ask the Honourable Prime Minister to consider the proposal of bringing about real change in empowering those that lead in our provinces, including our chiefs, to be empowered with more than just an advisory role, but actually making decisions that truly lift our people out of poverty. Madam Deputy Speaker, I just want to quickly address another case of misinformation by the Honourable Member Rinesh Sharma, stated yesterday that 40,000 people migrated overseas in the last year. Firstly, this is incorrect. But more importantly, he keeps belaboring the point, not just here, but also on social media, that this is a new trend happening within the coalition government. That is incorrect. 2016, 26,000 people. 2017, 27,000 people, 2018, 26,000 people, and so on. And then 2022, 28,000, 2023, 29,000. So the numbers are on average the same. But for 7 long years, Honourable Speaker, they did not skill our people to fill the labour gap. They closed down the TVET colleges. But under this government, we have reopened our vocational training centres. Institutions like Nandave, Navuso, Pacific Polytech, National Youth Training Centres, providing scholarships for especially prioritizing our school dropouts and unemployed. Madam Deputy Speaker, the previous government decimated and silenced the unions. Our government has shown genuine concern for our workers. We have restored the confidence and trust of our workers through tripartite consultations. We've paid our civil servants their due, pending for years. We've increased the pay of our civil servants without a job evaluation exercise. All of this to help alleviate poverty and manage the cost of living. We increased the minimum wage within the first 2 years of coming into office to alleviate poverty and meet the daily cost of living. Madam Deputy Speaker, to conclude, we are a government that knows your needs because we have lived among you and fought alongside you and sacrificed much for 16 long years to be where we are today. And we did not come this far just to hand out lollipops. I fully support the budget, Madam Deputy Speaker. Thank you.